Hello everybody, welcome to your April video. So the themes around April tend to revolve around rebirth, regeneration, revitalization, and it really brings forth the energy of newness, of being reborn, and a lot like Catholicism, where Christ is rebirth. He came out of the tomb, he was reborn. But I kind of take this as a parable in a way that we can adapt it and parallel to our lives. But also, this is a month just strictly of spring, right? Like we had the equinox March 20th, and April then brings the month of where things begin to bloom, where there begins to become an energy of being alive, where people start to become like out of the cocoon. Right, we have winter, which is the season of death, and then we have spring, which is the season of blooming. It's talking to us about coming out of the soil. And so with this energy also comes the inner child. To me, like when spring comes about, it gets me excited about life. I mean, more excited about life. It brings back new aspects of myself that may have been dormant through the winter season. And that is why I connect the energy of rebirth to the concept of inner child, because the inner child is all of those pieces of us that we kind of have forgotten. The inner child is the ways in which we have neglected ourselves, the essence of our true being, what sparks creativity, passion, and joy within us. As we become adult and we become jaded by the world, these pieces of us, these aspects of us are hidden. They kind of die in an essence. And in the energy of April and rebirth, there is that capacity for inner child healing. And it's really funny because for the month of April, I choose a card, and the energy of this is actually the eternal child. So this is so beautiful because this is like the essence of, like I was saying before, the essence of who we were before like our parents told us who to be, before the world structured us and gave us constructs as to what would make us happy. This is the eternal essence of joy. It is what is underneath everything at all times. And you can see it's kind of, we have some of the heaviness and that darkness under there. And this is like what happens when we go through that heaviness and that darkness. This brightness can bloom from there. But it really it's not even about becoming someone new. It's about uncovering what was already there, what's always been there. And that is why spring feels so rejuvenating in many different ways, right? Like I said, biologically, but also that nature has its natural cycles as well. And energetically, it brings out a different dimensional perspective, right? So if we're looking at it through the eyes of healing, when we're on this path, we begin to learn how to go with the natural ebb and flow of life, right? We begin to stop resisting what is and begin to surrender to it all. And that's only in that aspect, when we stop fighting, when we return to what is underneath it all, the inner child healing, that we become rebirthed. So I know for me, that has been multiple times, over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I never ask anymore, is there ever going to be an end? Because no, there will be plateaus, and there'll be times where you're less fighting it, but there's a constant rebirth in life. There's a constant renewal. It's just we begin to see things a little bit differently, and we become less resistant to them. So I find this just all weaving together so divinely perfect. And I would like to bring in some of the offerings that I have that reflect this energy, because I feel that when we tap in to what the natural cycles are energetically, biologically, and within nature cycles, it can enhance the healing or the unbecoming process. So I do have a giveaway for an inner child sound medicine session, and this just is really bringing us to using sound and voice guidance as a way to meet different aspects of ourselves, to uncover and to bring in compassion in different levels and layers that we haven't met our younger versions of selves. But I also have so I'm giving that away, and that is also half off, so it's like $35 for an hour long voice guided and sound medicine session. And then I'm also giving $100 off my inner child healing journey, which is a whole program. It's a 4 session program where we meet 4 times. There's a in-depth, like 40-page workbook, but each session taps into creativity, inner joy, empathy, and inner stability. Learning how to rebuild those and integrate those inner aspects of self that we have overlooked for how many years. And it really helps you reconnect to what sets your heart on fire, to what really brings you true joy and fulfillment. So again, weaving all of this together as we come into the month of April, there's going to be, and with any process, there's an ebb and flow. There isn't a starting point, there isn't an end point. It's a continuous temperance of energies that go in and out, and they spiral downward and they expand outward. And so if you feel like these old patterns continue to come up, like, yes, that is true, and that is how this process works. So it is a time for bringing in compassion, for joy, empathy, and beginning to look at the world through childlike wonder. And I just really want to thank you all for being here and watching this. And I'm so excited for what is to come for the month of April. And if you have any questions or you want to reach out about any type of insights or ways that I can support you, please feel free to. You have all the information in the links. And again, I'm giving away 1 hour-long inner child sound medicine session for the month of April. The winner will be announced live on Facebook business page Heart Activation, and will be emailed as well. So I look forward to seeing who that is. Good luck to all who enter, and I will connect with you next time. Sending so much love.